And I'm Siafa Lewis at the Windrift by Icona in Avalon, a very popular restaurant here with amazing views of the Atlantic Ocean. The potential and flooding here and in other Jersey Shore towns remains a big concern. We have cameras and reporters up and down the coast to let you see firsthand what the conditions are right now. Take a look at Erin on Next Weather Radar. The giant storm is moving just off of the coast of New Jersey, where I'm standing, as I just mentioned, here at the Icona in Avalon. This surf is extremely rough, and you can see the ocean, the waves are just taking over the beach. I mean, I've been here with my family a few years ago, and there's a lot of beachfront. You cannot see that right now, and high tide is still several hours away. So we're going to head down to Joe Holden. He is in Wildwood Crest this afternoon. Joe.
Well, Siafa, a few exits down from where you are in Avalon. Good afternoon to you, my friend. So we are on the Crest Pier in Wildwood Crest. Tommy Gardner is my photographer, and when we were here at noon, there is a noticeable difference in wind speed. We are actually getting a bit of a break. Now you see that rough surf. That is what is concerning for emergency officials. You also notice the Wildwood Crest Beach Patrol pickup truck there. They have these trucks up and down the beaches, making sure people only go into the water as deep as their ankles. So technically the water is off limits. Now we checked on a few spots around Cape May County on this blustery Thursday. While the ocean was, again, mostly off limits in the Wildwoods, people were still allowed to go in ever so slightly. The captain of the beach patrol estimated the waves were running between 8 and 12 feet. Many areas of the beach were flooded from earlier high tides. We saw some heavy machinery moving beach equipment away from the water. There are concerns about beach erosion. This evening's high tide is something emergency officials are bracing for. Wildwood Mayor Ernie Troiano said they were busy alerting people in areas susceptible to flooding. They say they have to remain alert. Now, a few miles to the south in Cape May, Cove Beach was a surfer's paradise, and there was a large crowd watching and checking out an angry ocean. And over at the Lobster House, owner Keith Laudman was keeping a close eye on the tidal forecast. The street out front of the restaurant is prone to flooding. This time of year, the Lobster House sees more than 1,000 people nightly for dinner service. Laudman said they'd make the call about whether to close the restaurant depending on the forecast. When you start to look at decisions to close, what factors in, Keith?
Mainly for us, it's how high the tide is, because I can't bring people in and out of here when I got a load of water.
What do you see as far as those numbers are concerned right now about the tide?
Little concerned about tonight. There's a 7:45 high tide, so little concerned with that.
It's not even high tide yet. We have a high tide. Next high tide will be 7 o'clock tonight. So it's going to get even bigger. You can see the beach is totally underwater here. That was from the last high tide, which we had at 7 o'clock this morning.
And we are back live here on the Wildwood Crest beaches. You see all of that water there, the lake, if you will. That is from this morning's high tide, the lone person doing the walk way back from the beach and all the way back to land. And then we have families here just alerting them of some disappointing news. It is now apparent to us that the Lobster House will be closed tonight because of the expected impacts from Hurricane Erin. So some disappointment here, am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah, they had some dinner plans. They'll make other arrangements. That's the latest. We're live in Wildwood Crest. Siafa, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, Joe, I'm going to keep saying it, better safe than sorry. Thank you very much, my friend, down in Wildwood Crest. I'm going to head a few exits south now down the Parkway. CBS Philadelphia's Joe Holden is in Wildwood Crest tonight. And, Joe, how do things look where you are?
Siafa, right off exit 4 here in the lovely Wildwoods, Wildwood Crest, the Crest Pier to be specific. You can see that angry ocean out over my shoulder. Tommy Gardner behind the camera for us. And you see some folks going in up to their ankles. Wildwood Crest is allowing that. But then let's go ahead and pan to the right. You can see what's happening. We have tidal action happening before us. The ocean has now reached parts well beyond what they know to refer to as the tidal berm. And then you see the wave action just rolling up the beach ever so gently. Looks gentle. That is what is concerning them. And while the beach, for the most part, is closed, it remains the main attraction here. Families and couples came to see the conditions, checking out what the hurricane is causing, even though it's hundreds of miles out at sea. Cape May County officials have been warning tonight's high tide will bring the most severe impact. Those living in areas prone to flooding have been warned to stay alert. People familiar with the shore know the Back Bay areas and how streets can take on water. They're asking, those officials asking everyone to keep aware of changing conditions and possible road closures. There is hope the winds will shift and give these coastal areas a break. High tide here in Wildwood Crest at 7:18 tonight. Families vacationing for the week are still making the best of their time down the shore.
How's the week been?
Well, fun for the family, but not very good weather. We're hoping for the weekend.
So you've come here to the pier. What are you expecting to see out here?
The hurricane winds and rain. Yeah, experience it. It's once in a lifetime, hopefully.
We're glad it's still off the shore, so we're not in any imminent danger or anything like that, you know, but it's fun for them. They've never been in a hurricane before.
And we are back live here on the Crest Pier. The folks taking a look at the tide as it rolls in. But we do have to mention there is an air of awareness here at the shore as we are continuing to keep in touch with officials. They're urging people to stay alert, to keep their eyes where their cars are parked, make sure they have a way to get out if things do deteriorate. Remember, this is not a new event down the shore, though it is one, of course, knowledge. Keep your eyes open and watch for any potential hazardous situations as this tide rolls in once again here in the Crest, 7:18 tonight. We're back at 6 with more from the Crest. Ziafa, back up to you in Avalon.
All right, Joe, thank you very much down in Wildwood. Now, there are vacationers and residents keeping a very close eye on the tides. That is what you're looking at right now. The tide is coming in. High tide in most shore towns is about 2 to 3 hours from now, so you can imagine what that may look like. That could be an issue in the usual trouble spots that flood during nor'easters and storms such as this one. Now, Ocean City is warning drivers about flooding risks and urging people to keep cars on higher ground. To help, Ocean City is opening all municipal parking lots for free tonight. Drivers should move their vehicles well in advance of tonight's high tide and retrieve them once tides recede tomorrow. Officials say roads such as Central and Wesley Avenues are higher in elevation and typically safer. Now, the seas are rough right now. The Cape May Lewis ferry is canceling some departures. Crews called off a total of 4 so far today, 2 from Cape May and 2 from Lewis. In a post online, the ferry says they are watching conditions carefully and more departures may be canceled as well. I, of course, as I mentioned, am here in Avalon. Very rough surf. You see folks going out to, there's a landing behind me where folks are going out to check out the ocean. Not a lot of people on the beach and obviously nobody in the water heeding the warnings that they've heard all week long. Don, let's head back to you in Philadelphia.